Hello, my name is Gabriel from GabakUSA. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to change the screen of a cell phone. In this case, we have an iPhone 5C. So the screen is broken, it still works, but we are going to replace it. So we have a few options. First of all, we are going to talk a little bit about theory, and then we are going to talk about practice. So that way, it will be better and you will avoid some mistakes, because many videos on YouTube, they will teach you just how to change the screen right away, but they will not tell you some things that you have to keep in mind. So before starting, you have to have some tools. In this case, I'm going to show you here some nice kit from iFixit. It's a screwdriver. It's a kit with many screwdrivers heads, so you can replace the ends and then you can take apart almost everything. So in this case, what I'm going to recommend first of all is when you buy the replacement because your screen is broken, what you have to think about is this. There are fake copies, there are original, there are also replacement that it has all the parts, and you have to think about it, because if you want to do something that will be professional and that it will be a good fix and not something quick, and after a while you will realize that you're going to be spending few hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours fighting with the phone because you cannot put all the parts together, and you start having some issues. So I'm going to teach you this. So when you buy the parts, you have two options. Option number one, you can buy the screen, the LCD with the earpiece and also the face camera. The frontal camera, that is what I'm saying. Also, you have the option to buy it with the home button. So if you can buy the whole or the full assembly LCD with everything, that is great. Maybe it costs $15 or $20 more. Usually it's around $15 more than if you buy just the LCD with the frame and that's it. But because if you buy the LCD with the frame, you have to remove the frontal face camera, you have to remove the speaker, the ear speaker. Also, you have to remove the home button, and if you don't have much practice or this is your first time, you're going to face some issues that it will not be good, at least for the first time. Later on, if you want to practice with the old part, that is great, but in this case we are going to proceed to replace the whole LCD with all the parts, the camera, the speaker, like I said, the home button and everything. So that way it will be easy, but will be quick. Also remember that time is money. So if you're going to be doing this many times because you want to start repairing all your cell phones and your friends, or maybe for customers and all the things, remember, if you can maybe spend $15 more or $10 more, but you will save like 1 hour or 2 hours of your job, surely it will be worth it. So if you want to avoid that, remember to buy the right part. Otherwise, you are going to have some issues. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to draw the LCD. I'm going to show you here. Here is the LCD in front. On this side is the frame or the bezel. So here on the top, you're going to have the camera. Also here, you're going to have the speaker. Also here, you're going to have the home button. And here, you're going to have like a little mic. So when you buy, like I said before, if you buy the replacement, just the LCD and the frame, all those things, you're not going to have it, and you're going to remove it from the old part and put it all together here. If for some reason you did too much pressure or whatever, you're going to break some of those pieces and you will have to buy it separately, and it may cost you more. So that is why I recommend to buy just the whole thing. And if you later on you want to buy the glass, because some people, I showed this before in another videos where you can replace just the glass and you can separate it from the LCD. That is a good thing, but it takes more time. And like I said, if you have the time, great. Otherwise, we're going to do just the simple step that will be replacing the whole thing. If you want to do something else, you can see my other videos and I'll show you how to do these kind of things with the other cell phone. So basically, if you want to replace just the glass, because that is possible, you have to buy a machine, and this machine hits all the surface, and then that way it will be easy for you to replace. You have to buy the glue, you have to buy a UV light to cure it. Also, you have to try to not breaking all the frame of the bezel and all the things. So it will take maybe 1 hour or 2 hours when you can do just the job. Just if you buy the whole thing, you replace it, and that's it. So that is one thing that you have to think about it. This is the phone. So in order to start, we are going to need like a suction cup. That will be amazing if you have that. Also with this kit that I told you from iFixit, usually they have everything on that package. If you need, I can give you the link on all these tools on the description of this video, so that will be easy for you. Here I'm going to show you. Here you have on the bottom, you're going to have 2 screws. So in this case, you have to remove these 2 screws. Try to use like a magnet mat, so you can put them in one place so you don't mix them. Usually iPhone or everything that is Apple, they start using different screws, so you have to think about those things. So if you can mark where each screw goes, that would be great. Otherwise, these screws are the same one, so it doesn't matter. Here you have a piece of metal that holds one flex. So that flex is for the battery. The battery, you have the battery here. So when you have the battery, you have to, of course, it's always good idea to work the cell phone when you're going to start disconnecting everything without any electricity. In this case, the electricity comes from the battery. So you take this piece of metal, you remove you unplug the flex, and then after that you have here another piece of metal that you have 4 screws. Usually this screw on the top is longer than the other ones, so if you can leave them in the same place, that is great. Just in case if you are going to disassemble another phone and the pieces, the screws, like I said before, they are different sizes and you want to keep them all together, and so that way you know when you have to put all the screws how they work, you will know the position. So I recommend that. So you remove this, and after that you're going to find this. I'm going to draw here another phone. Here you have the motherboard, and here we remove the piece that I told you, and here you will have, usually is a flex, is a connector here, another one here, another one here. So you unplug all those 3 and then try to keep the cell phone. Let's say this is the cell phone, and when you lift up the screen, because here are the screws on the bottom, like I said before, try to lift it up and try to keep a pressure on top so it will not fly away the screen, and you will not break any of the contacts. So that is very important. Hold it like that, and then once you lift it up like that, and then try to remove all the screws when the screen is like this, and then you remove 4, you unplug everything, and then you can remove it. That way is the safest way to do it without breaking anything. And after that, do the same thing. Just try to keep the display in this position, connect everything, put everything back. If you have something to hold the display, much better. Otherwise, you can do it with the hand. It's not that difficult, but if it is your first time, remember, try to use something so that way it will not fall and you will not break any of the contact that you have on the flex. So after you have done that, you replace it with a new screen, and basically that's it. I mean, you have to remember to plug in the battery, of course, put the metal, both the metal on the top, the metal on the bottom, and you close it. When you close it, remember to do this. I'll show you again with this. So first try to end this end of the top against the home button of the border. That way you close it, because if you close it maybe all flat like that, or I don't know, you move it like that and then like that, something like that, it will not close very well, and you will have to take it apart, and you may break the border of the LCD or of the bezel of the LCD. So if you take all these precautions that I just said, the repair will be successful. So I hope it helped you. Now we're going to start with the practice, so you know how this job is done. If you want me to do it for you, you can contact me. All the information is in the description of this video, and I can do the job for you. So let's start with the practice now. Here we can see we have the cell phone that is broken, and we're going to start replacing the screen. So in order to do that, we're going to turn off the phone. We're going to turn off the cell phone, pressing the power button on the top, and then we are going to unscrew the bottom. Here is very easy. If you have this kind of iFixit, you will see on the bottom that it says P2 0.8. So that is the size that we are going to be using. So once we have removed the screw, we're going to put it here. We have the magnetic project mat. So we're going to use one square. We're going to leave it like that. So any place is fine, because both screws are the same. So now we are going to use the suction cup, as we can see here. Very gently, we are going to pull it up a little bit. Sometimes, because we are pressing it against the table, it will turn off by itself, but it doesn't matter. We can turn it off later. So as you can see, we have removed almost completely the screen. So now we are going to wait a little bit until the cell phone finish booting up. We're going to turn it off, and then we're going to disconnect it from the battery, so it will not connect by itself. Okay, now we can see the cell phone. Now we are going to push once, and then as you can see, the cell phone is on. We are going to keep pushing until we see the option to turn it off. We wait a few seconds. After that, we are sure that the phone is completely off, and we are going to continue removing the screen. So in order to do that, we're going to disconnect the battery. As we can see here, we can use any Phillips driver. We're going to put it here on one side in the same order, so that way you can make sure that you didn't mix the screws, because sometimes in iPhone they have different sizes, so that is a good measure. And here we have 4. Usually 3 of them are the same and the other one is different, so we're going to do the same thing here. Now, as we can see here, one is longer than the other one, but we can leave it just in this place. We don't have to remove the screw, but if you want to remove it, you can do. So now that we have removed that as well, we're going to use the nail if you want to, or you can use a plastic splancher so you can disconnect the battery. It's very easy. I don't recommend to use this kind of tweezers because it's metal and you can make some short circuit, so that is not a good thing. But after that, you can use, if you want to, the tweezer very gently. You can do that, or if this is your first time and you don't have much practice with this kind of tweezer, you can use a plastic splancher. As we can see here, we have the iFixit toolkit, and here we have everything. So we can use this. And there you go, we disconnect it all. So now that we have the broken screen, if you have, or if you buy the other part, that usually it doesn't come with this home button, and you can see here, or the camera, the earpiece, the frontal camera and everything, you have to take it apart and do the same thing. I recommend all the time to buy just the full replacement, so that way you don't have to start dealing with all those things. Here we have the replacement. Make sure that where you buy these kind of things, they will test it before they ship it to you, because sometimes it might be dead. Okay, now that we have the replacement, we're going to do this. We are going to use these three connectors that we can see here. We're going to do the same order. So first of all, it will be convenient to start with this one on the left, and then on the bottom, and then on the right. Push one at a time. Okay, now that you feel that everything is in place, we're going to proceed to put the small panel, the metal panel that will hold everything from disconnecting. There you go, once you have everything in place, and then the last movement, the last action will be to connect the power as it was before. You can put the panel. Oops. There you go. Now that we have the last screw, there is one thing that we have to do. As we can see here, there is like a little border that have to fit on the top of the case, otherwise you will mess it up or you will break it. So before pushing everything as it was before, you have to make sure that the screen is flat on the top, and then you keep pushing the rest on the sides. There you go. You have to make sure that it's flat all over, otherwise you have done some mistake. So now that we have done everything, before putting the screws, we can turn it on and see if it works. Now, as we can see, it works fine. And now, as we can see, we have image and everything. We can start putting the last screws. And that's it. There you go. It's fixed, up and running. Now we have to know the code. I don't know the code, but because we see the screen is working, everything else should work. But what I can do, or if you want to make sure 100%, ask the customer the code, try everything, the ear speaker, the facing camera, and everything else, and if everything works great, it means that the repair was successful.